All right, so what is the Millennial Performance Institute?
So we're a coaching and a consulting firm, and we work with companies to help them cut the costs of turnover and improve the performance of their employees. And so we also have a special focus on the millennial generation. So you know that group that people say are entitled and lazy and quitting their jobs every 5 seconds. We really have a focus on millennials, but also intergenerational communication as a whole. So helping everyone get on the same page with that.
Awesome. And so how did you get the idea to start the Millennial Performance Institute?
That is a funny question. And that actually came from a client that we had, one of the very first clients. And I was out doing a workshop, and the owner of the company pulled me to the side and started asking me questions about some feedback that a millennial employee he had went and put online. And they were venting about the company, and he really couldn't understand why they would do that when they hadn't spoken to him or their direct manager. And so that was my ding, ding, ding moment when I realized that a lot of millennials prefer to communicate in a different way than other generations.
Right. Okay, so why is everyone talking about millennials?
Yeah, so you're right. Everyone's talking about millennials these days, and it's for a lot of reasons. They're actually the largest group out there right now. I think it's over 80 million people. And then also, they are the largest group in the workforce. And they became the largest group in the workforce about 2 years ago. So they have a large impact in terms of being employees and consumers out there.
All right, so are millennials really that different than other generations in the workplace?
That is another good question. I like to say that the mindset of millennials is different. So when we think about previous generations, everyone really wanted to be engaged at work, have purpose, and work for an organization that they really could see an impact. And know that they're valued. The difference is a lot of millennials are willing to ask up front, even in an interview, about the organization, about a timeline for a promotion. And so it's less of that, take the job, work there for 3 years, pay your dues, and then maybe, you can think about that. Millennials want to know upfront about those sorts of things. So that's a difference in mindset shift.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges companies have with their millennial employees?
There are quite a few. I think the number one challenge that a lot of our clients have is around turnover.
Right.
Gallup has done some really great research, and they estimate that turnover is among millennials is a $30.5 billion problem.
Wow.
So a lot of millennials are known for not staying at companies for even 3 years, a lot of times even a year. So turnover is a big one. Also, performance. So a lot of times productivity, a lot of people say that millennials are not as productive because they get distracted by things like their smartphone or being online. A lot of different things like that as well can lead to reduced engagement of millennial employees.
Okay. And so, Portia, how do you help companies? I mean, this is such a hot topic, and, how can you help them?
Yeah, so we provide really a comprehensive approach for our clients based on, their individual goals. We do a lot of coaching, so that can be private coaching, team coaching as a group. Also strategic consulting and planning around specific areas that they are having trouble with. We do a lot of workshops, group trainings, assessments, seminars. It's really a wide array of how we can help.
And so you hear about millennials in the news, and more experts and companies are popping up that saying, they know about millennials, they're experts. Like, what makes you different?
Yeah. So I guess the first thing is, we've been in business for a little over 4 years at this point. Mm-hmm. So that was way before it was cool to start talking about millennials like it is now. And another point of distinction is that I'm actually a millennial. So this isn't all theory, this isn't all, research that we've gotten from surveys, but you've got a millennial who obviously knows a lot of other millennials and has done that, work in the field to really know about millennials.
Okay.
And then also, I would say that our coaching programs are another thing that really helps. So we've all had that experience where we have, a trainer come in and there's a workshop or a session and it's great. Everyone's really jazzed during the session, and then it's over and nothing is really put in place.
Okay.
And so with our coaching programs, there's that accountability and we create a strategy to actually get the results that our clients want.
Okay, very good. And so I hear you have something unique that helps companies gauge where they are. So tell me about the Millennial Performance Index.
Yeah, so that is our proprietary assessment.
Okay.
And so what it measures is how a company will attract and engage millennials.
Okay.
And so it really goes to the core of how millennials think. And so it's a great tool to use when you're thinking about turnover or even just employee engagement as a whole with millennials.
Okay.
It's a great snapshot, and we do it for all of our clients so they know kind of where they are, and depending on what area they want to work on, it gives us some great starting point.
Okay. So what do you think a lot of people are missing, just totally missing, when it comes to millennials?
Yeah, so a lot of people harp on the negative stereotypes about millennials. So we talked about it, the lazy, the entitled, what's in it for them, and there are really a lot of benefits that millennials bring to the workplace.
Okay.
So, for example, millennials are very entrepreneurial. And if companies can harness that internally, they can really have a large impact, I'd say, on their profitability by really leveraging that. Another thing with millennials is they're tech savvy. And so a lot of millennials can go in and look at a process and really streamline how to get from point A to point B really quickly. And so that's another thing that companies can really benefit from with millennials into the workplace.
Okay. So I know you work with companies, but you work with professionals as well, individually. So what does that look like?
Yeah, I do. So we actually started off as a coaching company for individuals with their career and their business. And so that was a lot of, helping people to find their dream job, and then also with entrepreneurs, how they can make strides in their business.
Right.
And so we actually still do that. And another service that we started because we were out in companies talking to millennials and everyone was really focused on their career.
Right.
We have a resume makeover service because we found that a resume can really keep a lot of people, as you know, from getting the jobs that they really are out there trying to get and doing their life's work. So we have that service as well, and people can find out about that on a separate website. It is our Fly High Coaching website.
Right. Fly High Coaching. Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much for that great information.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anna.
Yeah. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay.